Hey guys, it's your girl Samantha with Black Nation News, and I just wanted to report on this story really quickly about this cop who abandoned this black woman. She was apparently going through a domestic violence situation with her partner, who is also armed. And it's interesting because I'm like, if any time there were for a cop to shoot, this would be the time to protect this black woman with this armed partner. I have no clue what was going on with this video, but I'm going to show you guys the video and then come back with my commentary.
Says this surveillance video has prompted an internal investigation. Following a domestic disturbance, an officer had his weapon drawn. The woman in pink positioned herself behind him.
Hey, my man, do not do that, my man.
Then, a man emerged with a gun, and suddenly the woman was on her own. Gonna wanna shoot me? Yeah, I do. Thankfully, he did not shoot her. Still, the apparent cowardice of the police officer is stunning. Here is the sequence in real time.
Hey, my man, do not do that, my man.
Okay, so for here we have further details from David J. Thomas, PhD, a retired police officer of Gainesville, Florida, police department. He's a law enforcement expert, a professor in the Department of Professional Studies at Florida Gulf Coast University, where he teaches in the Justice Studies program. He holds a PhD in forensic psychology and a master's degree in education. His research interests include police forensic psychology, serial homicide, victimology, violence, and terrorism. So Thomas said that Dr. Thomas said when he originally saw this video, his initial reaction was, "What the?" He said, "I saw a police officer with his pistol out in his right hand. I saw the lady come out and stand behind the police officer like, protect me. Then they had a dialogue, and I see the officer take off and go down the stairs, and I see the man pointing a gun at his girlfriend or wife. I don't understand why he, the officer, didn't take the lady with him. I don't understand what the officer saw. I don't know if he saw the gun in the guy's hand or what, but you have a victim that is literally afraid, and there's no doubt that she is afraid because she is literally cowering behind the officer. Then he, the officer, has an obligation to take care of her and make sure she is safe and secure." Thomas went on to say that most law enforcement agencies have a policy on cowardice in the line of duty, which could result in disciplinary action. In 2006, then Chicago Police Superintendent Phil Klein fired 2 officers and suspended another after they abandoned a fellow officer who was being attacked by a 400-pound suspect with a gun at a Southside Dominick's store. The officer who was abandoned eventually fired his weapon to stop the attack, and the offender died. Video reviewed by Klein of the incident led to his decision to discipline the officers. "Yes, this is a fireable offense," said Thomas of the June 21st incident. "There is a duty to protect and intervene. You have sworn and taken an oath of office, so you are required to do this." Thomas said the officer should have confronted the suspect as soon as he saw the weapon in the suspect's hand. He said there were 2 people whose lives are at immediate risk, and by not reacting to the threat, both were lucky to escape unharmed. The challenge should have occurred right there at the door when the offender came out that apartment with the gun in his hand, Thomas said. "I've never had a problem in my 20 years on the force when I thought there was a threat pointing a gun at somebody to get people to understand how serious I was, that if they failed to comply with me, that I would have to use deadly force. That's the problem I'm having with this particular situation. Not only was the victim in danger, but as far as an officer's safety issue, he turns his back and goes down the stairs. And I'm sure at some point he is aware there is a firearm there." Thomas said he has been on similar domestic violence calls while recognizing that all calls are not the same. He said in his career on a number of occasions he removed a woman or child from the situation before engaging with the suspect because that was the right thing to do at the time. And let me pause right there. So that's what I said. I was like, you should have had the woman get away from this violent situation before you even try to deal with the guy. Like, it was weird that she's like just standing behind the officer. And for her too, it's like, get your ass downstairs. Like, why are you standing behind the officer? You look crazy. But even the officer should have been like, wanting to get her out of the way so that she does not get hurt, so she doesn't interfere with whatever he's about to do with this suspect. Because I know, like, a lot of times when I see cops come on the crime scenes or come on the scene, they usually tell people back up or, you know, get on the sidewalk or, you know, just so they're not interfering with what's going on with why they were called. So for her to be hanging on the back of him, like, that's an issue. She could have taken out his gun. Who knows? And it's like, and then it's like, why is he by himself? Like, that was such a mess. And I'm angry that they have not released his name. Like, he needs to be fired, honestly, because that was just a lot of dangerousness going on. If she could have been killed, he could have been killed. His poor judgment skills, if he had a partner, he could have got his partner killed. It was just a mess. He needs more training before he could be a cop. Okay, let me continue. So he said an officer's duty is to protect the innocent, and if he could do that by negotiating the release of the victims first, that's what he would do. But if he left the scene, the victims were coming with him as he was leaving nobody behind. That's what Dr. Thomas is saying. Like, if that was him, and when he leaves, the victims are coming with him. He's not leaving anybody behind, as this officer, Mr. Officer Coward, did when he ran down the steps. I just don't know how you leave the lady there, he said. I would have had her go down the stairs, and then I would have backed down the stairs at gunpoint. We can negotiate later, but my obligation at that time on that scene is that victim. If that means I had to put myself between him and her to get her out of there, then that's what I do. He just opted not to do that, and I don't understand why. Unless there is something very unique that Chicago police does that nobody else does in the rest of the country. The why question is something CPD is looking into, according to a spokesperson. They are investigating the video, if so, but would not acknowledge that the event even took place. And as I heard, Chicago police, just like all the other police departments in America, is extremely corrupt. So who knows what's going to come in the situation, especially because we don't even know the guy's name. But I feel like heads need to roll. The training is poor. Officer Diddley Squat was terrified. He's running down the stairs, just as afraid as the lady who is she ain't got nothing, and she stood her ground better than he did. Like, where was he going? So, whew, okay, so I just wanted to give you guys some extra background into this story that I just found, this article, to see further what really was going on here. It's just a mess. So I would not be standing behind the cop if my children were in the house. So this is me just speculating whether they had kids or not, and because I just don't understand why she was still there. Like, I would have been gone. Like, time the cop showed up, I'm not standing, waiting around, looking at him. I would have been out the door. Like, so the cop was running. I would have been running before him, so he would not have been able to leave me behind because I would have already been down the steps. So, let me know what y'all think about this video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.